Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to talk about sound as creation. So, as we spoke about before, all language is a gift from the Spirit. So, I remember back in the day when I was a kid, I remember sitting there one time and thinking how in the heck did people make languages? And being so confused about it and just thinking, how did somebody sit down, make the sound, write it out, say that this sound means this, and then that's that. Well, the deal is that never happened because all language is a gift from the Spirit. So, sound, vibration, is creation. Let's get deep here. So, I went on holidays last week, and there was a man who walked by on the beach, and he looked rough, bad. Oh, he had been in a car accident. His frickin' head was swollen up bad. I'm talking inches. His above his left eye had probably 3 to 4 inch long scar, and around that on his forehead and up into his head and his eye, his whole face, he looked brutal, real brutal. And he's walking on the beach, and he came over. I don't know if he was trying to sell something. I don't even remember. But he walked by, and he said something to me, and I looked at him, and I knew, and I felt this feeling come in me, and I thought, oh, I have to heal this man. I'm told I need to do this. So I said, hey, dude, I'm a healer. Do you want me to help you? And he said, oh, yes, please help me. I said, okay, I'm just going to, say some things. He's like, okay, yeah, good. And so I put my hands up, and then words came out. Do I know what those words were? No, because they were not English. I don't know what it was. But as soon as I was finished, I felt it. I felt that it was complete, that it was done. And so I told him, hey, it's done. You're good. And he goes, oh, I need to, go to the doctor and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, you don't. And I looked in his eyes, and I said to him, the only thing that you need to know, and this was after I don't know if it was maybe 5 minutes, maybe it was 10 minutes. And I don't know what was said. I could just feel what was coming out. And I just looked in his eyes, and I said, what I need you to know, because this is the part that I remember, is that only love exists and everything else comes from the mind. And I could see how deep he was looking into me when he said this, and he just acknowledged it, and he said yes. And so he thanked me, and he left. So he then returns, and I'm not sure if it was the next day or the day after that, or, vacation, things blend together. But he saw me on the beach, and he came over, and he was so excited, and he looked freaking amazing. The swelling was gone. You could tell in his aura, in his energy field, he felt normal. He just felt good again. And he brought me presents. He brought me sugar cane, a coconut, a necklace. What else did he give me? Oh, some star fruit. Came all the way down the beach just to come and find me and to give me that. And then he came and he saw me every day after that. And he said, oh, I can't be on this beach. The police don't let me be here, but I had to come and see you. And all he was doing was to come and see me and to thank me. Now, and I just found this out yesterday, so that's why I'm telling you this now. So when this was going on, am I thinking about anything other than the healing that is occurring? No. I'm 100% in it. I'm just letting the divine flow through my body, let whatever sounds or words or things or whatever it happens to be that needs to come out is going to come out. And I'm present, 100%. I'm there. So I didn't know that this was going on in the background, that there's some people that are sitting around, and pretty much everybody was cool with it, but there was a couple people apparently that were there that were giving me the looks. And so the person that I was there with turns over and says, if you got a problem with this, you guys can leave. And they kind of, gave a little attitude and left. Now I tell you this to tell you this. I didn't even know that happened, because that interactions with that, with people not accepting or this or that, that's not in my world. So someone that I was with witnessed this happening, but did I witness it myself? No. Because in my reality, that doesn't happen. And so it actually doesn't happen. But I'm very thankful for it. Because whoever that was, there'll be some type of something that, made them think, okay, that's weird, whatever. Maybe they'll think about it more. Maybe it'll get their mind thinking. I don't really care. But there will be a benefit to those people as well for even just judging and then leaving. Who knows? Maybe there will be a point in their life where they'll need some kind of healing, and then they'll start thinking about things a little bit differently. You never know. But either way, the reason why I told you this is to tell you that whatever's in your reality is going to be all from your subconscious mind. So if you have beliefs, let's say you're hanging out with someone, you're in the same environment, you're in the same thing, but that person has a different experience than you have. Because everything comes from belief, and what you actually manifest and actually experience in your world all comes from that. So because I don't deal with difficult people, I don't deal with difficult people. Do you see what I'm saying here? But he does. So there they were. You understand? Now, going back to the sound, I'm talking about the language here. So the words that were coming out of my mouth, I don't know what they were, but they were sound and vibration. This much I do know. And what I do know from being in some very deep ceremonies with a very special molecule, what I do know is I understand and saw the vibration and the creation, and I understood that certain times we need to make certain sounds because they actually cause creation. Now this might sound a little bit crazy. Let me explain this to you more. So when we break down language and we know, okay, let's take the word love, so that all these sounds, all of those going together create the word love and create a certain sound which holds a certain meaning, and within that meaning, because it comes from the spirit, is the perfect vibrational frequency of that word. So the sounds that we make are important because they lead to creation. So when I am saying the word love, and I'm putting that word love out there, it holds that certain vibration, and it holds a very wonderful one. But if I was to use the word hate, and I was to spit that word out there, that also holds a very specific vibration. And it can color and cloud the world that's around you. Let me give you an example here. So one thing that I just can't take is when people call other people names, and that they're on it all the time. Oh, this guy's such a this, and people like bashing people. It's just, I can't take it. It just seems like the most immature, ridiculous, stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, I can't take it. What are you doing? It sounds like a little 4-year-old that just needs to grow up when people call names. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because this is extremely vital. Many people do that. I've observed this, that people will call people names. And those hold vibrations. Those words. It doesn't matter if you don't believe me, because they do either way. They hold certain frequencies and vibrations, and they will harm another person, or they will lift up another person depending on the vibration that you are sending out through your words and through your thoughts and the other things, but we're talking about the language. So when this harms somebody else, when your words cause harm to someone else, it's because the frequency that you sent out was harmful. And you will get that frequency that was harmful returned back to you. This is the law of cause and effect. Jesus called it reaping and sowing, aka you get what you get. You get what you put out. And if you don't like it, well, then you need to examine what it is that you're putting out there. Because we're not a victim of anything. We are not a victim of our own beliefs, because you can change your beliefs tomorrow. So just because something has perpetuated itself for the last 15 years and you've experienced the same thing over and over and over again, you created it. You are the believer in it, and therefore it's your creation. And if you want something different, you need to start believing something different. But these vibrations, when we're deep in a ceremony, a spiritual ceremony, my church, this is our beliefs, is that sometimes we use sacred medicine. And these spiritual medicines are extremely, first of all, potent, and a very good connection to the source. And they can help you to understand things that you maybe haven't even considered or even thought about before. And so one of these is extremely somatic, meaning your body might, move, shake, this or that, because it needs to be releasing something from within it. Like if you think about, getting a fever, getting the chills, getting the, you're shivering. When your body's shivering, it's doing something. That shivering, that vibration is doing something in your body. So this somatic medicine that sometimes we will take is so somatic. And so one time, it could almost be concerning if you were looking at somebody that was experiencing this and you hadn't experienced it yourself, to know, like, hey, this is cool, this is totally fine, what I'm witnessing here. But I understood it on such a very extremely deep level of the vibration. When my body was moving, I understood that the shaking, like these very somatic feelings, is releasing things from your body that need to be released. But what is actually occurring is that those vibrations, because just like your voice, right? You send your voice out and it projects out. So do the vibrations of your body. Because you are not your body, you're the energy that underlies it, right? So when that shaking is occurring, this is going on in your energetic field. And so sometimes when you're in ceremony, just through pure intent, you're actually sending these out. Like, I've seen what is occurring, that these vibrations are going out into the space that's all around us, and they are causing creation to occur. Like, they're actually changing the particles that are out there and uplifting them. Why? Because my intent is to be in divine alignment at 100%. And so when that's my intent, and these vibrations and this beautiful medicine, that you can't avoid that from happening, when this comes up inside of you and these vibrations happen, you might start to shake, you might start to move, and you might start to sing. And I'm not saying you're going to sing a song. You wouldn't probably be singing a song. You'll be singing a certain frequency, a certain vibration, a certain tune. And as you're doing it, you can actually feel it healing you. Now, these vibrations occur all the time, whether you're in ceremony or not. But we're just aware of things, right? Because we take the time, we set it aside. Here, I'm going to do this ceremony. I'm going to take the time to meditate, to have my spiritual practice. And when you're doing that and you're setting that time aside, you are doing this so that you can gain deeper understanding about something, right? And so when I go in, oh man, all I do is channel messages. I mean, I do that when I'm not. So either way, it just breaks the barrier and allows you to understand things on such a deep level. So when someone is speaking negatively about somebody else, like, oh, that idiot, oh, they're so stupid, oh, look at that person, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Whether that person is present or not, it doesn't matter. What is occurring is these words are going out, because they're energy and words are from the spirit, and they are going to that other person. If they're negative, they are causing them harm. Facts. They're causing them harm to their energetic field. So let's say that you start calling this person an idiot, and you do it freaking all the time. You're like, man, every time I talk to that guy, he's such an idiot. Okay, well, if this is the case, that person is pretty soon going to start feeling like an idiot. They're going to start knowing that you think that about them, and they're going to start feeling really bad. Now, here's the bad deal about that, is this is now going to happen to you at some point. Somebody else is going to do this to you at some point. Not the exact same thing, but however you made them feel, that's going to come back to you. So don't do that. because you are actually causing harm to someone else when you speak negatively about them, even in jest. Just like when Jesus cursed the fig tree and it withered to its roots and was dead by the next day. Your words can either give life or take it away. So think about the interactions that you have. Those sounds, those words that you put out throughout a day, those vibrations that you put out a day. Think about your words. Do they uplift people or do they bring them down? Think about the last interaction that you had with someone, and how did you feel when you left that conversation? Now, how did you leave the last conversation that you had that was really uplifting or funny or fun? What did that feel like? Amazing, right? It was funny and fun. You can provide this for people. You can provide upliftment for people, depending on what words come out of your mouth. That's the end of the story. Depending on the words that come out of your mouth will determine how the people around you feel, because those words have that certain vibration attached to them. And I mean, you could say certain things with an attitude attached to it. You know what I'm saying. But do your words uplift people or do they bring them down? Because it's so important, whatever they do. Because not only is it doing it to other people, but it's doing it to your environment. It's doing it to your house. It's doing it to your home. Because you can't just shift that vibration off, right? You're in it all the time. So if you're going around and every time that you talk to somebody, you just feel like you need to complain about your life. What have you done? First of all, that person doesn't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. If you need help, perfect. Go talk to your friend. You get the help, whatever. But if you had a bad day yesterday, or you had a this, or you had a that, the people don't care. They don't care. You had a bad day? They don't care. But what they do care about is you talking about it and bringing them down while you're talking about it. And they're going to be sitting there while you blabber on about it and think, I am wasting my life talking to this person right now. What a waste of my life. I can't even believe this. And they might even be a little annoyed and a little pissed off, and they might avoid you in the future. Why? Not because you're a bad person, not because you didn't have a bad day or you were lying or any of the things, but people don't like to be brought down. Why? Because it's not in alignment with divine truth, so it feels awful and uncomfortable. This is our signal that, hey, I'm feeling awful and uncomfortable. My mind is in control of absolutely everything in the way that I feel, because when I think about this, I feel awful. When I think about that, I feel great. So maybe I should change something. Because it feels really uncomfortable feeling awful. However, some people get addicted to that feeling, especially if they get attention from it. If you were a victim when you were young and you had somebody that placated you and they were like, oh, you know, you poor little thing, and they whatever, then pretty soon you get secondary gain and you are benefiting from not feeling good because people give you more attention. And so then you start to create this like, oh, well, I realize I get more attention if I don't feel good, so I'm just not going to feel good ever, and people are going to give me attention all the time. People do this. This is a real thing. But what happens is everybody around them, their lives are going to be affected too. And if you think that that karma is not coming with you to another life, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. You can't spend your life being a victim, bringing people down around you, and think that you're not going to have to pay for that at some point. You're paying for it in the present and the right now because you're not in alignment with divine love, and so you are suffering. Because you suffer when you're not in alignment, when you're not living in the truth, when you're not living in love and you're living in fear instead, you will suffer in some way. And so if someone is suffering in that way of a victim, and if I was to make myself better, then these people aren't going to give me attention anymore. Well, if you were to actually make yourself better, you would realize, oh man, I can't believe I wasted my whole life feeling that way when I could have felt this way. Wow, I can't even believe I did that to myself. But upon that realization, just like everybody, every single one of us needs to wake up someday, you would then realize, and then you'd be able to go and you'd be able to preach it to the people, and you'd say, hey, you're not a victim of your life, you're a creator of it. Look, you have free will, you have choices, you were given consciousness. This is your free will, and you can choose to live in heaven or hell. You get to choose. It's a choice because it's all in your mind. You ever go to a really poor country and you see the people living there, and the people are happy all the time, even though they have nothing. They have a dirt floor. They might not even have real walls around their house. They might have just enough food for that day, but why are they so joyous and why are they so happy? Because it all comes from within. And they are more than likely living in alignment with divine love. In those communities, there is more of a community than there is here in America, depending on what kind of person you are and what kind of community you do get involved in. Sometimes there's a sense of community here, but it's not quite the same, of people just willingly going out of their way to go and help other people. Sometimes I think that we get so distracted by money, by finances, by I gotta make this, I gotta do that. What would these people think here if I didn't have this, or what about that, and all this, and we get so distracted about that we make that our life, and that's not life at all, baby. There's nothing about that that's life. That's not gonna come with you in the next life. There's gonna be absolutely no benefit if you make $1 million here, next month. That's not going to benefit you next life. What's that going to do to your soul? I hope it's going to do good and wonderful things. But it's not going to benefit you in this life. What does benefit you is love, because that you take with you, and it helps to build your soul, and it helps to gain alignment with divine love. And not only that, but it's going to make your life wonderful when you live in alignment with the love that's there. Now, love holds that certain vibration, and it's beautiful. Go look it up. Dr. Emoto Water Experiment. Go look and see what those molecules look like when they're frozen. Beautiful. They look like beautiful, beautiful love. And so I have a cup of water here in front of me with a tea bag in it. Shocker. Now, as I sit here and I look at this water and I put the words love, I'm speaking it into my cup. Love, 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 love. It holds that certain vibration in it. And now this water now contains that. And so when I drink it, like I'm going to right now, I just drank that liquid love, because it holds the vibration of love. It will now go into my cells and it will fill them up with that. But if I was sitting here and I was using my words, my vibration, to speak negative things about other people, let's say I was doing it next to a water glass, well, now I'm going to get instant karma, because now I'm drinking whatever I just said about that person. Maybe I called him an idiot. Maybe I called him a whatever. Maybe it happened to be whatever it was. But if you were doing that around your water, you now just drank that. And if you weren't doing that around your water, you did it to your own body. And either way, you did it to your own body, because we are almost all water. And just because you're thinking that thought of, oh, somebody's an idiot about somebody else, it doesn't matter. That holds a vibrational frequency. It holds something, and it's in your energy when you're thinking about it. And so it's going to affect your own energy, your own body. So if you don't want this to happen, then you should be very mindful and careful with your words, because they are powerful, as they are a gift from the Spirit. They hold within them power. They are powerful. So, I am seeing the craziest thing outside my window here right now. What is this? Oh, it's just a little bird made his way in the... Aw. Anyways, he's cute. I think he's spying on me. These words that hold these frequencies within them and hold power within them are very important. Have you ever, gone to, let's say, I don't know, so a conference or something like that, or heard somebody speaking, and they were speaking and it was very powerful? They were using their words, but they were using their words in a powerful way. And it wasn't necessarily just the words that they spoke, as you might not even remember any of the actual words that came out, but you would remember the feeling that was there and the vibration. That's the feeling, the vibration of those words. Because when someone speaks them, and they speak them with conviction, they will hit you in a different way, especially when that person really believes that they're the truth. Because the truth is a beautiful thing, and it holds this really beautiful frequency to it that people can't deny, unless they themselves lie and do not live within the truth. Then maybe they won't recognize it. Now, I don't want y'all to think I'm perfect. I'm absolutely not. Not even close to perfect. But I'm working on it, as you should be too. Because this is the lie that we were given, that we can't be perfect. Well, why freaking not? Why can't we get a hold of ourselves and our language and our vibration and use it for good? Why can't we do this? Well, we can. And why can't we do it and get better and better and better at it every single day? Well, we can. So why couldn't we be perfect? Well, we can. But this is the lie that they tell you. And then you use this as an excuse. Well, I'm not perfect. All this and all that and all blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying put pressure on yourself to be perfect. What I'm saying is try. Do it. Just do it. When you go about your day to day, if you normally call people names, don't do it anymore. Imagine you got a lock on your mouth and that you cannot say it. You're gonna feel better. It's gonna make you feel better because those words they're manifesting in your physical body. Plus, you're putting them out. That person's gonna receive them and you're going to get the karma back from that as well. You're double doing it. So from this second forward, stop complaining about your life. Stop complaining about people because those words hold frequencies and vibration and they're going to go out into the empty space that's here and they're going to create that life that you're complaining about. That life. They're going to give you more of that life. The more of the complaints, more of the idiots, more of the whatever. They're going to give you more. More of the stupid people. There's no stupid people. Everybody's a lesson. Everybody's learning. They're wonderful people. Everyone is wonderful. What wonderful people we have on this earth if you would only but see just the beauty in every single soul that you meet. And when you look for it, if you want to strive to be perfect, you'll find it. Maybe you need to cut some people out of your life, though. Maybe you need to. Maybe you need to. Maybe you need to. Maybe you don't, but maybe you do. I know that I certainly did. And through letting go of the energies that I let go of throughout my life, throughout these last couple years, it freed up my energy so much so that now what I want can actually attach to me because I can't say, hey, I want this while I'm still holding on to this thing that I don't want. I can't do that because then that energy channel is already taken up. It's already filled up. I don't got the actual bandwidth for it. The universe knows this, so it will not send me the thing. So whatever it is that you want, you got to let go of all that it is that you don't want. So if you got some friends and you're like, you know what, man, I don't even know if these people are really my friends. You know, they're really not that good to me. They don't got my back. They're not calling me. They're not checking up on me. They don't care. They don't care about me. Are you wasting your time? Are you wasting your time? This will be beliefs that you have underlying that have brought these people into your life. It will be presented to you for a lesson, for some kind of learning. Now that lesson or that learning might be like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to let this go and I'm going to go find people that want me to be around. And maybe people that are real good for me. Maybe people that are in alignment with me. Maybe people that are completely equal with me. Whatever your intent is behind it, sometimes we need to let go of things. And it might not be an actual physical person. Maybe you need to let go of a belief around that physical person. Because it's your belief that you're witnessing. It's not about that person. It's about you. Like I said, on the beach, what's in your reality is in your reality and what's not is not. So if something's going on in your reality, it's because you have a belief about it and it's because it's been allowed to be there because you have free will. And you make choices and you choose and you make decisions every day. And you can choose heaven and you can choose hell and it's totally up to you. So this message that I got through this medicine about spirit, about language coming from spirit, about the vibration in it and the somatic movements that are emitted. It is like you are reverberating certain vibrations. You're sending them out all around you. This is why some people could walk into a room and all of a sudden the room feels different because they're sending out powerfully those vibrations from themselves. Whereas somebody else might walk in a room and you didn't even notice that they were in there. And it has nothing to do with how the person looks. It has nothing to do with any of the things. It has to do with the energy that they brought into the room. Meaning the vibration, meaning what it is that they think. So if someone's really attracted to somebody else, somebody comes into the room and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, who's this? What's going on here? They're attracted to the vibration, to the energy that is coming out of that person, nothing else. Because we intuit truth. And so when someone is living higher in the truth, everybody wants that, right? They're going to be attracted to that light unless they themselves fear the light. Some people do, especially religious people, because they were told to. They'll wake up someday. Church is kind of kindergarten, because you're having somebody else tell you what to do, rather than meditating, rather than connecting with spirit on your own, and rather than getting the answers on your own, because there's not these special people out here who are more connected with the divine. I mean, they are, but it's because they want to be. It's because they're interested in it, and it's because they take the time and because they practice. Just like I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to go play football. Why? Well, because I don't know how to play football, and I would suck at it. But I could get better at it if I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. Now, would I ever end up in the CFL or the NFL? No. It's never going to happen for me. But I could practice and I could, do it. I could play the game. There might be some people who can play the game so good that they're going to play it on a big stage, but everybody can play the game if they practiced it. So, same goes for the spirit. If you think that the divine doesn't connect with you, you don't ever hear messages, you don't get downloads, you don't get channelings, the only reason why you don't is because you don't practice. It has nothing to do with anything being wrong with you. You just need to meditate more, practice meditation, and these things will come. Channel messages will come. We're all just as connected to the spirit as the next person, but some of us have disconnected ourselves, which does not mean that the divine has disconnected us. It is us who has done it. So it is us that has taken ourselves offline, and it is us that can put ourselves back online by letting go of all the fear and living in only the love. But this is what I have for you today here, my darlings. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys have let me see, when is this coming out? Maybe this is Thanksgiving today. I don't even know. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, though. Thank you so much. If you have not signed up to the channel, please subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notifications if you want to know when a video comes up, which, should be every day. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. I love every single one of you. Thanks for being here. Have an amazing day.